Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. The Tacoma Open took place in Tacoma, USA from the 14th to the 16th of July 2023. The tournament had 8 rounds with 358 players and 2,608 games played. Steve Trimble won the tournament with their Custodes. Hank Adams, who also took Custodes, came second, with Jeremiah Birkdale running Eldari in third. Big congratulations to all these players, and apologies for any poor pronunciation of their names. The winning Custodes list takes 2 shield captains. One of them takes the Ceaseless Hunter enhancement, allowing their units to shoot and charge, and a once per battle 6-inch move when an enemy unit ends movement within 9 inches of them. We also see Trajan Valoris himself, allowing his unit to ignore modifiers, in addition to his powerful Moment Shackle ability. These characters will be leading 3 big 10-man squads of Custodian guards. They all take 8 Guardian Spears, 1 with the Sword and Board, and 1 Vexilla. I would imagine these massive squads are very hard to remove from objectives, with Toughness 6, 3 wounds, a 2+ save, a 4+ invulnerable, OC 3 for each guard, and if that wasn't enough, they can reroll wounds while within range of an objective. The squad containing Valoris will be even harder to remove in melee, with his Moment Shackle potentially giving the unit fights first. I don't think many units could charge that squad and survive to deal some damage in return, especially when you consider their Martial Qatar gives you either sustained hits, lethal hits, or a -1 to hit if you need the extra defense. Each squad will make 40 attacks with the spears, hitting on 2s at strength 7, AP -2 and 2 damage apiece, a truly frightening prospect. These big squads and their characters make up the majority of the list, but there are some additional units in support. First we see a small squad of prosecutors, seemingly to get some cheap bodies on the board. There is a Calidus assassin, who must be included for their utility. They allow you to increase the cost of an enemy stratagem by 1 CP for the rest of the game. This would be very useful for heavily used stratagems, such as the one to revive a Custodian, or the CP reroll. They can also redeploy at the end of your opponent's turn, which is very helpful for this reasonably slow Custodes list. Finally, there are 2 Exaction squads for some more cheap bodies to hold objectives and do actions. They load up on the free war gear, taking the Medikit, Soul Guilt Scanner, the Grenade Launcher, and the Heavy Stubber. I really like these kill team models. It is nice that they are seeing some play in top competitive lists. Custodes have not been winning a huge number of tournaments in the first few weeks of 10th, but them taking down this huge tournament shows they really can compete with the top factions. To emphasize their competitiveness, we see another Custodes list in second. They also take a shield captain as the Warlord, with another one but in the Alara's Terminator armor. Finally, they have a Blade champion, who will give a large threat range to one squad, with his unit being able to advance and charge, as well as being able to reroll them. He also allows a unit to heroically intervene for 0 CP, as well as bring us a very versatile melee with his free attack profiles. We see more Custodian Guard, but only 1 9-man squad this time. The squad takes 3 blades, 5 spears and the Vexilla. I would imagine that this squad was led by the Blade champion, to make the most of the mobility and melee profile he brings. This list then starts to diverge from the first place list, showing off some of the other strong options in the Custodes index. We see a 5-man squad of Alara's Terminators, which would have been led by the shield captain in the same armor. The unit is extra effective against characters, monsters or vehicles, getting full wound rerolls against those targets. They can deep strike to allow for some more board control, and at the end of your opponent's turn you can go back into deep strike once per battle. We then see 2 of the Forge World Caladius Grav tanks. Both of them take the heavy blaze cannons. They pose some serious anti-tank threat, with the blaze cannons getting 4 shots each at strength 12, -3 AP and damage d6 +2. As they are twin-linked, they can re-roll the wound roll, and of course Custodes hit on 2s. I can't imagine many vehicles would want to be hit by them. We see a 6-man squad of Wardens, who the remaining shield captain must have led. They have the ability which gives a -1 to wound against weapons that are higher strength than their toughness of 6. Once per battle they can also get a 4+ feel no pain for a phase, making them a rather difficult unit to remove. We then have a cheap squad of Witch Seekers, and like the other list, they take some allies. They have an Inquisitor with Psychic Gifts, giving them the Psychic Shockwave attack for some potent anti-light infantry fire. They are leading a squad of the Inquisitorial Henchmen, which take the Gun Servitor, Mystic and Demon Host. When an Inquisitor is leading the squad, the Acolytes give the unit a -1 to wound, the Mystic gives a 12-inch aura of deep strike denial, and the Demon Host gives them a 5+ invulnerable. Perhaps they were used to sit on a home field objective. They are a surprisingly tough squad for the cost in my opinion. It wouldn't have been a 10th edition tournament spotlight without at least one Eldari list. The 3rd place list is a bit similar to the other ones we have seen, taking an Autarch Whaler as the Warlord, and the obligatory Farseer for the Auto 6. We then see Irilith, who will be leading one of the Shadow Spectres, giving them +1 to hit. I would imagine he led the 6-man squad which takes the Exarch. He also gives a -1 to any unit within 6 inches when they take a battleshock test. We do see some Harlequin representation with the Solitaire. It has lone operative, so it can't be targeted outside 12 inches, and it gets fights first. They're an incredibly mobile character assassin, being able to advance and charge. They also have a once per gain ability to add 2d6 to their 12-inch movement characteristic. In combat, they have 9 attacks with precision, hitting on 2s at strength 6, AP -2, and a damage of 2. When you use their blitz ability for the extra movement, they also get 3 more attacks for good measure. They also have a 3+ invulnerable save, in case you can get in shooting range. They seem rather strong just for their mobility. We also see a Spirit Seer who takes the very popular Fate's Messenger enhancement. They'll be leading the big 10-strong squad of Wraith Guard with Wraith Cannons. They give them lethal hits, and can restore 1 model each command phase. They only have to restore 2 models to pretty much make up their points cost. With 10 devastating wounds, anti-tank shots at d6 damage, they will be very effective against armor, and will get 1 or 2 6s to wound each time they shoot on average. With toughness 7, 3 wounds and a 2+ save, they will be hard to remove. We see 1 squad of Guardian Defenders with a Bright Lance, with a Wave Serpent to fly around it. We then see 2 Hornets with the Bright Lances, which does give this list a lot of anti-tank firepower. There is the 2 aforementioned Shadow Spectre squads, with their generalist firepower prism rifles. Their focus shot looks especially deadly, at strength 6, AP -2, and a flat damage 3. We have 2 units of Wart Spiders with their devastating wound equivalent flamers. They can also flicker jump at the risk of taking a mortal wound for a 24-inch movement. Finally, we see the Wraith Knight with Scatter Shield and Wraith Cannon. Just one seems to be a popular competitive choice, and I'm sure the Farseer will always be in close attendance. It's nice to see an Eldari list which is very different from the list we were seeing pre-nerf. I think it also emphasises the strength of the index, that they can field a very different list and still get third in a huge tournament. This list at least looks a bit more like an Eldari army, being very mobile, with those mobile units being reasonably easy to take out. Unsurprisingly, the Space Marines are the most played faction with 16.76% of all players taking them. Imperial Knights are in second with 8.94%, followed by Necrons in third on 8.66%. It takes our resident stat guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. The tournament third place finisher Eldari topped the win race with 62.4%. The Genestealer Cults topped the green group with a win rate of 59.4%. The second most popular faction Imperial Knights get a win rate of 58.8%, showing they are still performing well. Perhaps the sheer amount of anti-tank the third place list took, and the fact Custodes can use a stratagem to get +1 to wound against vehicles, kept them from the top places. The tournament winner and runner-up Custodes come next, with a win rate of 56.7%. Thousand Sons get a win rate of 54.5%, followed by Orcs on 54.4%, and Sisters on 54.3%. Tyranid is the last faction in green, with a win rate of 50.8%. The third most popular faction, Necrons, get a win rate of 47.9%, and did manage to get the 5th place finish. The most popular faction, Space Marines, get a win rate of 44.3%. Let's take a look at how the individual chapters and traitor legions perform. Most of the Chaos Space Marine players are unknown, but the single Word Bearers players got a win rate of 50%, with the 2 Black Legion and Night Lord players getting a win rate of 37.5% and 33.3% respectively. We see a lot of Space Marine chapters represented, with the single Iron Hands player getting a win rate of 75%. They came 14th in the tournament. The 5 Deathwatch players get a win rate of 51.5%, followed by the 2 Salamanders who win half their games. The second most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, top the yellow group, with a win rate of 48%. The 5 Imperial Fist players get a win rate of 44.4%, followed by the most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, on a win rate of 43.7%. The third most popular chapter, the Space Wolves, have a win rate of 38.8%. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.